Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Zach Moonshine with Metal Devastation Radio, and right now on the phone with me, I have Joe from 7 Days Lost. What's going on, Joe?
Hey, how's it going? Doing good. Been super busy.
So tell everybody out there what's going on in the world of 7 Days Lost right now.
We got a lot going on. We got the new CD out. It's called Good Day to Die. You could pick it up anywhere online if you don't want to leave your house. Target, Best Buy, Kmart, Hastings, iTunes, Amazon, you name it. You could pick it up. Just look up 7 Days Lost, Good Day to Die. It's under Paris Records. It's our label down in Texas that's helping us distribute everything. We'll be on tour, coming around again sometime in October. So the tour starts October 1st. We'll be in Las Vegas, Nevada. The 2nd will be at the Whiskey A Go Go playing with Hellion, and then traveling around from there, going east. So we'll be hitting like Phoenix and Albuquerque, back up to Colorado and whatnot.
Nice.
So been busy. A lot of cool stuff.
Very cool, man. So how long have you guys been jamming, and how did you get this band started?
Well, myself and Mike. He's the lead singer, rhythm guitar player. I'm the Evil Pig. If anybody hasn't seen the Facebook or Twitter or whatnot, we all dress up in costumes. We're kind of playing off of stuff of all our favorite bands. Alice Cooper, Kiss, Rob Zombie, Guar, Lordy. A lot of awesome bands out there that do some theatrics, put on a show and whatnot. So we started doing that around 2000. I want to say 2007. So it's been a minute now. Most of it was 1 or 2 shows a year, just jamming some songs that myself and Mike had written, and a lot of songs Mike had written over the years. And there's nothing really serious. And then all of a sudden, one day we decided, hey, let's play more often. So a couple of years ago, we found everything to put the band together, and found guys that were crazy enough to dress up and be in costume and in character, and went on tour.
Very cool, man. Well, it seems to be paying off too.
We've been doing really well.
I was going to ask you, how did you guys come up with those costumes that you have? Was it always the same, or have they been changing over the years? Or
over the years, it's changed a little bit. Lots of different things going on. So we have Mike. Not quite sure what he is. A lot of people just call him the Dead Man. He kind of has a good dark image, so when people first see him, you think that we're like a Norwegian death metal band. He kind of has that look going. And then once we start playing, if you haven't heard the music, it goes a whole other direction. Our influences are more like Wasp and Kiss and your traditional metal. So it's a nice little shock value at first when you see Mike, and then we take it another direction. Mine is an Evil Pig. It's always been that, I think, except for the very, very first time we got together. We started a show called Hell Circus, and the only thing I could think circusy in costume was like Blue Man, so I kind of did a Blue Man thing, but my makeup was too dark, so it looked like I was actually black-faced and trying to offend everybody. But so I changed it up. I was going through some of my older masks I've had from the 80s and 90s, and I found a pig costume, threw it on, and modified it over the years. So what I'm wearing now it's been that way for about a year or two, and it's kind of stayed the same, not really changing characters too much. Barry, our bass player, is a devil, at least a devil-type figure, tall, horns, red and black bass. When he first did it, he looked more like a minotaur of some kind. He was several different colors, whites, blacks, browns, reds, and it wasn't something that was easily applied, so it kind of simplified it to make it, less is more in a way, I guess you could say. And then we have a new drummer. His name's Chris Jameson. He's trying to figure out what he is now, so he threw a goblin-type suit on. He kind of looks like a little orc. So it fits perfectly in the back of the drums, especially the way, he sits kind of low, his arms are hanging out. Fits his look really nice. So it's, it's not comical, but at the same time, it's fun, if that makes any sense.
Very cool, man. You guys did a video for Whiskey and Gasoline, which is pretty fucking badass, by the way. How did that come about? Like,
Whiskey and Gasoline was the song we decided we wanted to make our single. So what we decided to do is we wrote out a storyline for it. You know, when the song, you know, it's about partying and having a good time and doing things you're not supposed to do. And so it's pretty cool. But there's also a hidden message of, you know, these are things you're not supposed to do. So, you know, if you get in trouble or get hurt, you know, it's nobody's fault but your own kind of thing. So what we did is we did a storyline for it to where Gary is our typical, you know, be like a typical creeper. So we've got a little, you know, anybody hasn't seen the magazine yet, I'll give all the spoilers out. But you have, he's going through how to pick up chicks for dummies type of book. And tells him what to do. He pulls up in a hearse at this little nightclub, kind of like a little dingy, rundown bar is what we're kind of going for. So we pull up to the bar, you go inside, the band is playing to like a crowd of 1 or 2 people. You know, there's a guy in there playing pool with no pool balls on the table. A lot of little hidden funny things going on in the video. And then some of the band members are actually in the video when other people are in costume. We have body doubles up on the stage. So we can walk around the bar as well, so you can see us without makeup and in makeup kind of thing. But the whole story is just Gary trying to pick up girls, and then one of the parts in the manual says to use roofies. So he picks them up by drugging them, takes them out, and that's pretty much where the story goes. So it's like I said, it's just a good, fun, not so fun for some people song.
Yeah, I definitely dig it, man. I love that song too. It's fucking badass.
Oh, it's a blast. We've been getting a lot of cool pictures. People taking pictures of, you know, bonfires and whiskey bottles and gasoline, and people driving semi trucks. You know, not actually driving them, but by the semi trucks, big tankers, and they're holding bottles of Jack Daniels and Jameson and different types of whiskey. So it's pretty cool.
Nice. So the name itself, 7 Days Lost, how did you guys come up with that? And what does that mean to you?
7 Days Lost, we get that a lot, and the sad part is that there's no cool story to go along with it. It's, I was in the bands. I like bands, you know, that have cool names, you know, but I was like 3 Doors Down, 9 Inch Nails, you know, and a bunch of bands that had numbers and words. And so I was like, you know, I kind of like that rhythm, you know, it sounds cool. It's catchy. And so I started coming up with a bunch of names, and we came up with names that didn't have that either. You know, we had some pretty cool metal names, but we were going with the costume theme. So I was all like, some of the names didn't quite fit. You know, they were either too metal, so they didn't fit the style of music we do, or they were, and I don't want to say too metal, but they were like really heavy, where I had to use the branches and the unreadable writing, you know, not putting anybody down, but you know, that stuff that's just let you know this is hardcore. And we're not like that, you know, we're more, like I said, the big KISS sign, wasp on fire sign, something that stands out and is bold. So I was all like, how about 7 Days Lost? And it just kind of slipped out, you know, and we were like, you know, the 7 days, we're always all jacked up anyway and lost, so it fits.
It does fit. So yeah,
so it wasn't anything, like I said, it wasn't anything special, but it's cool.
Very cool, man. Now, your local scene, you guys are from Colorado. What can you tell everybody out there listening? What is the local scene there like?
Well, locally, we do handfuls of shows here in Colorado. We've actually been more of a touring band lately, so we do been on the road, especially with the release of the CD. But as a local level, there are tons of great bands that are in our city alone. You know, we're about 100 miles south of Denver, a small town called Pueblo, Colorado. We got Colorado Springs and we got Denver. That's pretty much the base, you know, of Colorado. And then we have a lot of smaller cities like Canyon City, Rye, and all these little towns. And when you go to even the small towns, from the small towns to Denver, a lot of kick-ass bands. I mean, that's just the bottom line for Colorado. So, you know, if there's anybody out there looking for a new music scene, Colorado's a great place to pick it up. The radio stations, you know, they have a live and local on almost all the rock stations. So the local bands that can't get normal radio play and aren't on the radio all the time. They have an hour or so dedicated to just them. So the radio stations are pushing the bands. The bands are doing great and opening up for big artists that are coming through, a lot of big national bands. So a lot of good stuff. Alice Cooper, Motley Crue is going to be here on Saturday, and we have a gentleman by Dragontown Band, a good friend of ours who does an Alice Cooper type show. He's going to, how cool Colorado is Alice has actually invited him to join him on stage to sing the song tomorrow night. So that's going to be really cool.
That is awesome.
Have a Colorado native up on stage with someone like Alice Cooper. So that's going to be really awesome.
Fuck yeah, man.
So yeah, the scene here is great. Promoters have been doing really good. For a while there, the scene started getting a little shaky. To where the promoters are more into it for themselves and whatnot. But it seems like things are changed up a little bit. Bands are taking a little bit more control, putting on their own shows. And some of the promoters that were shady, have either changed their ways or they're working with the bands more and things like that. One of the promoters we work with is really awesome. We work with a company called Wolfpack Productions out of Denver and Springs, and they've been doing some really cool stuff for us. They brought in like the Bullet Boys and Gilby Clark. One of the girls we just met, she's a brand new promoter working with Rocker Chicks Promotions. She also brought in Faster Pussycat, and and they're bringing in some really cool national acts and letting the locals open up and letting us join the show as well. So it's really positive stuff going on. So
that's really cool, man. I got to give
really cool stuff.
I got to give a shout out to Amanda too for
she's amazing.
Yeah, she sent you guys over to us in the beginning, and she sent
her and a lot of our friends and fans like that. Go way and beyond. To make sure the bands get seen. And get heard. They're constantly promoting. They're constantly pushing, and they're constantly just supporting the local scene. So like Amanda Hedgepath, her and her husband and family are just amazing. We've got a lot of friends like that. So there's no way I could say everybody because you'll need another day of interview for that.
Well,
so we got a ton of friends that do nothing but help us, from Colorado all the way to New Mexico, and all the places I mentioned that we're going to be touring. We have friends and supporters just like that are doing the local scene. Albuquerque has been amazing to us. We go down there and met tons of friends and tons of people that are like, hey, you need a place to stay. Don't get the rooms. You need food. You need this. You need that. The promoters down there have been awesome. So all the clubs we play have been great.
That's fucking cool, man. Now, you guys have been on the road for a while now, doing a lot of touring. You're saying what is some of the craziest shit that you guys have seen so far on the road?
Most of it happens to us, and it's not really crazy. We have our truck. We go around in like an SUV instead of a van. This way we could park a trailer, and we could still cruise around and find good parking. So we try to check out the cities and whatnot wherever we go, and we try to sightsee and take some cool pictures for everybody. But we actually caught on fire. We were in Bakersfield, California, and we literally caught on fire while driving down the highway. So we're cruising down the highway, and my drummer's in the back seat, and all of a sudden you hear the double bass going, and he's like, "It's getting hot back here." And the whole floorboard of the back seat was literally on fire. It was just, this last tour was really fun for things like that. We got to Kingman, Arizona. We got a new song that's going to be coming out on the next CD called Kingman, Arizona. But we get there and we meet. We get, I don't know what part of town we were on, but it seemed like where the zombies live, and where they push everybody that's not allowed in the normal part of the city. And that's where we cruised. And we got to meet some of the weirdest characters and some of the strangest people that you wouldn't even find in a freak show. So we decided to write songs about them and talk about some of our fun adventure in Kingman, Arizona. We stayed in a little hotel, which literally was a roach motel. Has roaches in the tub, had roaches under the bed. I mean, we were like, this is not going to be fun tonight. So we wrote a song about it. But yeah, we had a lot of cool stuff like that. We met a lot of killer bands on the road. every city we went into, we've met some really, really cool bands, everywhere from Kansas to Texas. A lot of cool friends. We went on tour with a band called Black Hole Gypsy out of Ohio, and they were just a bunch of great guys. You know, they did the recording with Bob Kulick. Sound great rock and roll, old school AC/DC meets Led Zeppelin type of vibe. So a lot of fun stuff.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, if I was still living in Arizona, man, I'd definitely be at one of those shows for sure.
Yeah, we'll be in Phoenix, I believe is the town we'll be in. So
right after I moved, everybody that I dig started coming there. That's how it goes.
But we're going out. We'll be going out east soon. We got a whole, next year we got a whole East Coast and going Midwest, Mid-East, going that direction. So hopefully we got a friend that wants us to put us down in Florida and get us all to the South and whatnot. So it's always cool to go through the Bible Belt as well. So especially when you got the devil in the band.
Yeah. Well, so you mentioned you had a couple of songs that you guys have written so far. Well, what kind of plans do you have for the future as far as like a new CD or anything like that?
Well, the new CD we're planning on recording around Christmas time.
Okay.
So we're going to go back into the studio for Christmas. Hopefully the CD will be out, by spring, summer. We've got a full CD written and more songs that we're writing. So we're going to go in with way more songs than we need. This way we like to handpick and make sure every song, there's no filler on the CD. So current CD has only it's more like an EP, has 6 songs.
Yeah. And
then two radio edits, this way we can play them on local radio and whatnot. So we have it's a total of 8 tracks on the CD, but they were all handpicked very, very carefully on what we wanted to put out there. Our goal was to make sure that we never put out like one cool song and the rest just filler. So we've got a lot of awesome reviews, a lot of stuff in the UK, a lot of e-magazines here in the United States. And all the reviews we've been getting have been really cool. A handful of people think the costuming's corny and things like that. Some of those people, they're not into that. Not everybody's going to be into what we're into. But what's really cool is we get some positive vibes in both directions. People dig the costumes. They like the pig. They like the devil. They like, Mike and makeup. They like the new guy. And then the guys that aren't really into the costuming or aren't into that type of stuff, they're like, the music is really cool. And then we've even got like Project Independent. We played with them a couple of years ago with Jeff Tootin and his band, and not his band, but his little gang of people going around with and helping musicians move in advance as well. They seen us, and one of the guys was like, we don't like your music, but damn, it was catchy. It's like we're more heavy. We like Cradle of Filth, and they're in the heavier bands. But they were like, shit, we sat back here and sang along and never even heard of you guys before. So it was really exciting to know that someone that really wasn't into our style dug our show. So that gave us a real warm and fuzzy, I guess you can say.
Hell yeah, man. I fucking dig it too, man. I think you guys look crazy, and that's cool. And then the fucking music, it's badass too. We've been playing the fucking shit out of it on Metal Devastation Radio.
Cool.
So I definitely can't wait to hear some more in the future.
Yeah, we listen to it as often as we can. I think we've been trying to promote you guys as much as possible. Get more fans out there so people that dig us will hear us on you. So we've met people all over the place. Radio stations just like yours. We got a friend, Jiggy Jaguar. I'm sure you know him. Big supporter of us as well. So we really dig, people like you and all the fans and all the listeners and new people to come that just are just really liking what we're doing and supporting it. We have a couple people that aren't on the bandwagon yet. They're on the fence, and then by the time they jump on, hopefully they don't miss out.
Hell yeah, dude. All right, well, Joe, I guess I'm about out of questions for you, man. Is there anything you want to tell everybody out there listening and your fans?
Biggest thing is check us out. If you haven't heard us yet, haven't seen us yet, find us on Facebook, 7 Days Lost. We have a friend page. We have a like page. We have a group. You can go to 7dayslost.com, find all the links to the CDs. where it's available. Find all our magazine interviews, a lot of cool videos. We have tons of videos. So whatever you want to do 7 Days Lost wise, like us already or start liking us today. So check us out and rock on.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, before I let you go, Joe, I got to get you to make us a station tag. Cool?
Sweet.
All right. Just say, this is Joe from 7 Days Lost, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio.
This is Joe from 7 Days Lost.